Hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. We hope you're doing fantastic tonight. Before we get started, a few announcements. Number one, programming schedule. This one's going to be a little bit longer because it's a bit more complex than normal. Next week, we're not having a Strength of Thousands AP.
That's
It's
fair.
Hey,
Christmas.
Christmas.
It's Chrysler.
It's Christmas. I'm
It's
hanging out with Agnes
Christmas.
family. It'll be fun.
Ah. Oh.
Merry Chrysler.
This Wednesday, Wild Ambition Holiday Special. What surface will Matt have hands come out of? Join us next week. Join us this week and find out. Place your bets in the comments down below.
I
22nd,
don't like how that's
Astral Calling. Space. Fairy Invasion.
Ace.
Yeah.
Evie doing so much mental gymnastics. All the mental gymnastics. If you want to see
I
McKenna,
have advantage on my acrobatics checks, and I intend to use it.
Fastest rationalization in the West.
yeah,
Cow.
Go.
Hey.
go watch the VOD from Friday, or go watch it on a YouTube channel. It's up. Then on Saturday this week,
Saturday.
the 23rd, Sultan Strategy. Hopefully we'll all be here. We'll find out. If not, we'll figure something out. But we will have Sultan Strategy on the 23rd. 24th, there will be no Cozy Co-op because I have a family thing. And, all of that fun stuff.
Me too. It's
Yeah.
Is the season.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah. 25, the 25th, we will not have this stream. 27th, we'll be back with Wild Ambition, the boss fight that they skipped all the information on. And then 29th, we will continue to do Astral Calling. 30th, we will have another. We'll probably be doing our game awards, the Tabletop Rolls, Tabletop Bros Game Awards on the 30th this year. Where we're
Right.
going to talk about our games of the year and draft next year's picks for our video game draft. What, Matt?
I'm so not qualified. I've barely played any games this year. I've played very specific games a lot.
Yep, that's fine. And then on the 31st, Cozy Co-op is up in the air. It depends on what people's plans are for New Year's Eve. Who knows? We'll figure that out.
Lots of finger food.
Yeah.
Eh.
But thank you all so much for coming. Matt, I'm going to throw things to you as you're going to introduce all the wonderful people on this show who, go ahead, Matt.
Hello, everyone. I'm a DM, or possibly a GM, or someone who leads people through an adventure, or possibly a quest. We're not sure. Welcome to the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path. I am Matt, or Urbanoff in various places on the internet, or sometimes called the World Wide Web. But here with me tonight are a number of amazing players and people. And I'm going to start by picking the one person who's holding slime, McKenna.
That's
Introduce
me.
yourself, your character, and your favorite fictional monster. And this
Oh.
has to be something that's non-humanoid. Like I'm talking manticores, I'm talking gelatinous cubes, something that's really could be described as a monster.
Okay.
But first, introduction.
Hmm. Oh, Matthew, this is brutal. This is killing me. I have so many favorites. But for now, my name is McKenna Ray Tynan. I am playing Avi, the Nyctera witch, as well as her familiar Agate. And my favorite true blue monster. Ah, I gotta love a Selkie.
Oh,
Technically, they do have humanoid forms because I can't pick a mermaid because technically the top off is human.
I'd be okay with merfolk, or I don't know if there might be other names for them in other properties.
I really am so partial to sea-based beasties. This could also easily go to Kelpie as well.
Not a hippocampus though.
Perhaps. I think the lore around Selkies, Kelpies, and Sirens are a little bit more interesting, but yeah, that's my answer. That's what I got for you.
I'm now going to veer directly across me on my Zoom call to Will. Will, why don't you introduce yourself, your character or persona, if you will, and what your favorite monster is? I'm not Rod Sterling.
Hello, my name is William Banner, also known as Tabletop Roles on the Internet. Tonight I will be playing Gamma and Igara, Igara being the Gripply Summoner, who's just a good time. As far as favorite monsters are concerned, I think everyone knows exactly what I'm going to go with, of course. It's the Frog Moth. The Frog
I think that's a
Moth.
very specific one to Pathfinder, so I'm not sure a lot of people are necessarily familiar with, Will. You may
No,
have to
it's-
describe it.
It's in other TTRPG systems as well. It's in both of them.
I would not say that's like a well-known
I
monster.
feel like the Frog Moth is a monster.
I'm not saying it's a bad one. I'm just saying
it's a good one. I just wouldn't have, I
describe
wouldn't have
it,
guessed it because I
perhaps.
don't know what it is.
Oh, it's just imagine a giant frog with tentacles.
See,
I
and
would-
I would not have guessed that because when you said frog moth, I was picturing a frog with moth wings.
Frog Moth, specifically, a big old frog monster with tentacles, and in Pathfinder 2e, I will let McKenna and Matt guess. It has some interesting abilities, which include
Granting
a
wishes.
breath weapon and
Oh.
the swallow hold ability.
I think I've attacked you guys with this. But on the opposite end, and couldn't be more different than a frog moth, we have Zoe. Please introduce yourself, your character, and what your favorite monster is. Be sure to unmute. Yeah, there you go.
I will. I remember this guy's doing stuff. We moved around the whole apartment. Anyway, hi, I'm Zoe. I go by Zoe Pose. I'm back. I'm playing Ophelia. She's our Whisper Elf Bard. She is sassy. She loves all things pink. And my favorite monster.
Or at least one you're really
I-
fond of.
I really like a funny little guy. So when I think monster, a lot of times I think of the umbrella yokai.
Oh.
Yeah,
the
I know that
Kasa
one.
Obake. Yeah. The it's just a little
I have that-
Excellent out of the box pick.
I have that as a
I-
sword in Genshin. It's pretty good,
and they
actually.
can be very friendly or they can be just very mischievous. I just like a mischievous little guy.
Yeah.
And speaking of someone who has to deal with mischievous little guys, Sarah,
Hey,
case in point.
get, I'll be right with you. Hey.
For those who don't
You
know,
and the mischievous guy is being mischievous.
Sarah's mischievous little guy, that one right there, has decided to give themselves totally to a life of crime since the move.
This is true. It started before the
activities.
move.
It's truly. Hi everybody. I'm Sarah Margaret. This is Teddy. I play Charlotte, the naughty toxicologist of the group, who isn't as chaotic as this creature. I would say I'm fond of this monster. But in all honesty, if I had to pick like a fearsome mythological monster that I just relate to way too much, it would have to be the Squonk.
The squonk.
Can you describe that?
Yeah, so the Squonk is a folkloric creature from the Hemlock Forests in northern Pennsylvania, believe it or not. It was documented in like early 1900s as this sad little creature that was like a wrinkly pig-like creature. But what was hilarious was that it's constantly crying, and if you look or gaze upon it, it will think it's so ugly it cries itself into a puddle of liquid.
Sarah!
That's very specific. Goodness
What
gracious.
do you mean you relate to that? That's deeply, deeply concerning.
It's essentially, if you look up a squonk, there's many depictions. It is the ugliest thing in the entire world, but it is also the saddest thing because it generally, if you apparently to folklore, if you gaze or look upon it and it notices you seeing it, it cries itself into a puddle.
See, I
It
thought it was going to
doesn't
be one of
like
those
to be
things where it attacks you if you look at it.
No, it just doesn't want to be perceived.
It's just
Ever.
sad. It's just a sad
It's
little
just
guy.
Truly a millennial
Sad.
icon.
Sarah, I'm
It
concerned.
actually is, believe it or not, in low-key cryptids, the squonk is just like the millennials. I just want to give it a hug, the poor thing. Truly the ugliest little creature in the world, but just
I don't know. Chupacabra's not winning any beauty contests.
yeah, and then second only to the Nekomata or the Bakaneko, which are the Japanese cat yokais.
Yeah, those are a little scary.
Those are scary ones.
Though on the subject of cats, one of my favorite monsters, if not my favorite, is probably the Regal Sphinx. Both Androsphinx and Gynosphinx.
It's weird that they have that differentiation.
Well, I don't know, they often have very different appearances, so I think it's important to maybe distinguish. But I like a monster you can have a conversation with, but can still rip you to pieces and everything, and I like riddles, so.
Yeah.
I also really like to
Funnily enough, what most people don't know is that the iconic Sphinx cat breed did not originate from Egypt.
I would think not. It would probably get a sunburn very easily.
It's only called Sphinx with the incorrect spelling, FYI. Because it was so bald, it looked like the Sphinx of Legend.
Interesting.
But that brings us to the end of our introduction. So, before I launch into the recap, Will, why don't you go ahead and roll that intro?
Sugared spruce. I love it.
And we're back.
I think the first thing Chad heard was, and it smells like sugar spruce. I love it.
Me talking about my slime? Maybe.
McKenna's new sensory addiction is slime, in case Chad hasn't figured that out yet.
Yeah, I think they picked up on it.
But speaking of things very not slime based, when last we left our group of lore speakers from the premier magic academy in all of Galeria, the Macambia, they had reached their goal of the expedition. They had plunged into the screaming jungle to find the mythical and lost city of Osaibu, rumored to be made with gold. And they had discovered, apparently, there was a very literal myth. The very walls and cobblestones of the city appear to be just gold, just made of gold. Don't think too hard about architectural problems having made things from gold, and considering how soft it is, don't think about it. Maybe it's just plating. And you guys are getting a good chance to examine this as you are being escorted into the city by probably around 100 guards, who also seem to be wearing gold-plated armor and such, though. Don't also think about how well gold would actually protect you from, say, an arrow or something.
Maybe it's gold plated.
Magic.
Also, it would be very heavy.
Also, this is a world where a bat fairy, can turn into a dragon. So maybe we just stop questioning things like this.
Right.
Suspension of disbelief.
All right. And just as a recap, inside, the heroes behold a magnificent sight. Stories describe Osaibu as a city of gold, and it lives up to the tales. Much like other cities, Osaibu has cobblestone streets, but the cobbles are large chunks of gold. Buildings are made from bricks of gold. And even more mundane features, like planters, are inset with gold. The brilliant glinting of what light peeks through the jungle canopy gives the city an almost ethereal appearance as it shimmers with a dim golden glow. The warriors escort you all to an open plaza just within the city walls where a halfling woman stands waiting. You hear someone refer to her as Umanja Jinga, and she seems rather important. Her kind of robes, her golden jewelry all seem very finely made, but not ostentatious. A simple designation of status and importance, perhaps. Um, she waits until the guards have all kind of come in behind you and are now sort of arrayed in positions. You get the distinct impression any funny business will be met with immediate and deadly force. And once everything has calmed and everyone has kind of taken their places, she kind of walks forward and she starts scrutinizing each and every one of you very carefully. Kind of not a grump curmudgeon look on her face, but definitely a unhappy and, really kind of trying to give you guys the business with her eyes. This goes on for several minutes as she slowly walks the line down all of you. Her kind of scowl deepens a little bit with the wave.
Oh.
It doesn't seem like she's a grumpy person, but she seems distinctly unhappy. And finally, she kind of walks back to the center of the group and takes one last long kind of like pass looking at all of you, and finally just asks, "How did you find us?"
Map!
Points to Ollie.
Are you guys going to present the golden plate featuring the map to Osaibu?
Not unless she asks specifically.
So we
And
just
she
say
says-
map. Like
I have a
Dora
hard
the
time
Explorer.
believing you. We know for a fact that no maps have ever left the city before, and no one who has left the city would be capable of drawing a map.
Oh, that's a concerning turn of phrase. I can show you the map, but I'd like to keep it if that's okay.
Show me the map.
I show her the map, but I do not let it go.
All right.
Holds
She
it tightly
sees
and
this
get a little
map. She sees the
sexy.
fact that you have an actual map, and she looks very offended.
Oh.
And she begins to call you, like, just kind of like, not yelling or screeching or anything, but just angrily kind of talking at all of you, not anyone in specific. And she says all sorts of things like that you're thieves and traitors, and starts firing off all sorts of questions and everything.
Would you like to know where we found it?
Whoa,
Um,
whoa. I'm sensing a lot of very strong emotions. Listen, we found this very fairly, and we decided to come so that our lovely friend here could live her lifelong dream of coming here, and we're greeted like this? It's okay.
Many thieves dream of finding the Golden City.
We're not here to thieve,
Oh, and I'm just to believe that on your word.
of course.
Have you heard of archaeology?
She kind of like wraps her knuckle on the gold map. Where do you think the gold from this came from, most likely?
Almost certainly here. Although we
Yes.
did find it in Mazzali, where
And I
there
can
is a lot
assure
of
you-
other gold.
And I can assure you, no one was given leave to take that gold out of the city. So what am I to conclude but that you are thieves, and possibly quite incompetent or arrogant ones to return with it?
I would like to point out that this map is hundreds of years old, and none of us can live that long, so technically speaking, it would be impossible.
I don't know
for
that.
us.
Perhaps you're devils from the jungle in disguise. She like gives your rubbery,
Also, thanks for
ripply
following.
flesh a little poke with her old gnarled finger.
Oh no, you
Twist
want
of
to
being
go a little bit
completely
lower.
honest, I could live that long, but I haven't. I'm only around 50.
Everyone in the group, please give me a perception check.
Anyway.
Upset grandma.
One for me, one for Agate.
Also, as a reminder, this is a halfling woman, so she is like, she cannot like look down on any of you or something.
Yes, she can.
Yes, she can.
Oh well, yeah. I keep forgetting.
You forget how short this party is.
I got a 39.
Yeah.
I need a very basic sketch of just the lineup of the party compared to like, I don't know, a chicken.
If you want to look down on us, you can go on top of Choco's back. I can cover.
Yeah,
most of
wildly
us.
enough,
I know,
a
I just feel like
chicken
there's-
is the tallest in the.
Technically
I
speaking,
just feel
Gama's
like
the biggest
Charlotte's in the
party.
back,
Gama's-
the tallest with Choco.
Yeah.
Gama's a huge creature. He's technically the biggest.
Yeah.
Didn't you
whatever.
unsummon him though when we were
Yeah, I did.
teleporting?
I just
As you guys are kind of having this back and forth with her, you do notice that in some of these gold inlaid pots nearby with some plants in them, they start to shake a little bit.
hey, your potted plants are shaking.
A rumbling, you find some block text comes around the corner. A rumbling bellow comes deep within the city. Ease your words, Umanja Jinga. These visitors mean us no harm. A massive tree steps out from behind a building, moving at a slow and deliberate pace, stroking a beard of leaves and vines. The tree bears the face of an old man, with hundreds of cracks and whorls around his eyes and mouth. Standing over 50 feet in height, the gnarled tree's hunched posture suggests he could tower over every building in the city if he stood up straight. He looks down upon the gathering, and a slight smile comes to his weather-beaten face. I can see your spirit faces, little ones. Your masks speak to me. They tell me of your journeys and show exactly who you are. You are friends to the people of the Mwangi, and I can see that you are friends to Osaibu as well. Tell me, how did you learn to create your masks? Was it Jatambe who taught you? You guys know Jatambe, the founder of the Magambia and possibly one of the greatest living mages in the entire world. Whether he's alive nowadays is a matter of debate.
Not exactly. I think Teacher Ott was probably the one who taught us properly. I don't know if you would know him. Probably not. I'm sorry. Maybe that's rude to bring up someone that you probably wouldn't know.
Jatambe, technically,
That's true. That's
we come
true.
from the Magambia that he created.
Yes.
So therefore, yes.
I'm an Inati. Like my bloodline.
And just as a reminder, you do know, like, I'm not even make you check for this. He is totally talking about the masks you guys carved at your, not graduation ceremony necessarily, but one of your important ceremonies at the school.
Yeah.
You know, the one that was ruined by bugs.
I mean, yeah. By the
It's
way,
just a bit scarred.
this ancient tree man introduces himself as Damari Digi.
Laurie Tichy.
Yes.
It is.
He is a gargantuan-sized creature.
It is an honor to meet everyone here. My name is Avi Avi, and this is my familiar Agate.
He is very pleased to meet you. He repeats the question that the elder halfling asks, and tell me, wanderers and travelers and learners of lore, why have you come to our city?
Honestly, I would have put it off, but I think maybe the most important thing is that we have something of a warning for everyone here. I don't know if you are familiar with the illuminated tree. They are supposedly on their way on an expedition to find this place. And they are. I don't think it would be an exaggeration to call them expansionist in nature. A religious order that maybe does not have the best interests of people at heart.
Tamari Digi turns and kind of just looks at what is her name now?
Also, we need a flag.
Manja?
Manja.
Yes, Amanja. God, there's so much text here. And she kind of glances all out of you, a mild bit of confusion on her face, and like, I have been watching your progress through the jungle, and while you were clever enough to avoid my final trial with my golden warriors, I must say, no one else is advancing upon the city.
Interesting. They made this big old announcement that they were going to do an expedition. It's entirely possible they just wanted us out of the city of Nantambu.
Oh. I mean, that would be a clever deception because it would be very difficult to prove that they were lying to you. You would simply assume they're ahead of you or behind you.
They did say that they had left the day before the announcement had been made, so we were like, oh no, we gotta be catching up. And then we were like, well, maybe they're actually following us. But we wanted to come here and warn you about them anyway. Also, Ophelia wasn't lying. This is a lifelong dream of mine to come here. I've been researching Osaibo for so many years and months in the library, and I am just so excited to have the opportunity to be here. That's enough for me.
All right, well, we are now going to enter an interesting phase here where there is a number of potential questions you guys can ask that have pre-written answers I can give you. So, I'm going to open up the floor here, and I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions, specific questions they want to ask to the tree man.
Igor just looks at Avi and says, hey, go nuts, Avi.
Okay, where do I start? Wow, the cloaking. You managed to keep this place hidden. How? That's an amazing feat.
I will interpret that as a question. Why has no one been able to find Osaibu before? Others have found Osaibu before, in fact. I have seen dozens of visitors to the city, some searching for it intentionally, others stumbling upon it by accident. All were welcome into the city, regardless of their intention. Some stayed, while others have left the Golden Walls after some time.
But how is it hidden? Because we got a bird's eye view.
And I will interpret that question as, if people have been here before, why haven't they spoken about the city?
Also, hi, Matt. Thanks for the raid.
That's where things become somewhat interesting, I feel. The people of Osaibu wish to keep their city safe from outside eyes. As you can see, there is gold all about this place. There are many who would come to Osaibu to take its treasures or steal the knowledge of its people. Some might even kill our people or enslave them. Anyone who visits the city here is subjected to a magical compulsion that binds them to secrecy about the city.
Yeah.
Interesting. May I ask? This is not something that interests me specifically, but all of the gold, with the surplus of it that you have here, it is likely not necessarily a currency, but why have such a tempting bait for ne'er-do-wells? Would it not be easier for the people here to not?
That potential knowledge will require an increase in rep to unlock.
Interesting.
Spoiler warning, you guys now have the potential to be here for several months.
Oh,
Yeah.
several months. How about no?
You guys are
Oh.
no, because you guys are going to get the chance. I'm just going to skip a little bit ahead here. We're going to go back to the questions, but you guys are going to get the chance to do academic research to level up your level with your school by doing what's it called again? Practical research in Usaibu. And in addition to leveling up your standing with your branch at the school, you will gain treasure points. And treasure points can be exchanged for a couple things, not just money.
Loot?
That's
Oopsie
cool.
doodles?
It's actually
Oopsie
crazy
doodles.
that you
Probably
brought that up.
information.
I'll just read this whole thing here. So, performing practical research might earn the heroes treasure points. Each hero gains treasure points individually, but no hero can ever gain more than 4. These points represent treasures gained through meeting with the people of Osaibu, gifts, promises to craft special items, or access to the city's storehouses. While in Osaibu, a hero can spend 1 treasure point to gain a common consumable item of 14th level or lower, or gems, gold, or other valuables worth 1,000 when sold outside Osaibu. A hero can spend 3 treasure points to gain a common permanent item of 14th level or lower. The heroes can pool their treasure points, and they can spend treasure points as soon as they get them or at any time during this chapter. So yeah, there will be practical research checks, but we're going to go back to the questions real
Some
quick.
might call it practical magic.
I mean, there might be magic involved, and there will also be random events in the city. No fights necessarily, but there will be interesting little events that you guys will be able to participate in. There'll be some skill checks.
Oh, like a data center.
And as a spoiler for those watching and for the players, there will be a special little Christmas treat for you all. A promise that I made.
A Christmas promise. That sounds like a Hallmark movie. I'm invested.
Coming to theaters this winter.
Oh my gosh, How did this place come to be?
Or not.
Where did all of the gold come from in the first place, and all of the knowledge and all of the magic?
Oh, there's this thing called the Philosopher's Stone.
Unfortunately, I don't have access to the answer to that, and it's not one of the questions.
What else can you tell us? Like, if there was just, like, say, I don't know, a hypothetical, like, list of readied responses you had for, like, FAQ. Like, what's the FAQ?
Listen. Whatever you're doing over there, Mr. Fourface.
Four-face? How do I get 4 faces?
She said what she said. Just a
Maybe
random
it's a
number.
riddle.
You break something.
You can't break my face any more than it already is, Ophelia.
Well, I'm not gonna break you. You already broke something. Moving on from that. Anyway, hi,
Great.
I'm Ophelia. This is Florabunda. She's been vibrating since we got here. She's very excited to meet you.
Which probably
Just
sounds
look
like leaves fluttering.
Yeah, she's like doing a little like pedal flips. I'm actually, so it is crazy, Matt, that you brought up our dedications, because I was going to ask, as an Uzanjati, if this tree has any good stories for us.
Well, as you stay in the city and get to know them a little better, I'm sure they'd be willing to share some stuff. Which is also part of, like, the practical research, so. All right.
Looking forward to it.
I'm just gonna, because I don't want to play the "can you guess the questions you're supposed to ask" thing.
I appreciate that.
Let's see. An important one. Will they let you leave?
Oh.
Of course. You will be able to leave at any time. But know that you too will be bound to secrecy about this place.
Yeah.
What if we don't want to keep this place a secret? Oh, little ones. Believe me when I say our people will find a way to keep their home safe. Even if it means that I must catch you myself to complete the secrecy ritual. You will be free to return any time, or of course, but you will never be able to share what you know of this place.
If we were... I'm down for the secrecy ritual, but if I wanted to return with a friend, would that be an option?
Returning with a friend is totally permissible. Totally. But of course, they as well will be bound by the secrecy.
What
It's
does
kind
the
of a
ritual
self-correcting process.
entail? What do we have to do for the ritual?
Nothing really, just be here and eventually you can't talk about stuff.
Okay.
It's pretty handy.
No other
Um,
sorts of rituals. Thanks.
Are
After-
we able to send sendings from within Osaibu?
That might be a little difficult. The city is innately quite magical and it kind of interferes with things.
Yeah, it wouldn't
And you
necessarily
think-
be about Osaibu. It would just.
Well, no,
be
just-
about-
Like being in the city makes it difficult to communicate. And also, if you just leave the city, like step out, to like make a call or something, you'll obviously not be able to tell anything because it's secrecy. So,
No, of course it wouldn't be about Osaibu. It would just be about, hey, we did it. Also, that cult might be up to some
Well-
nefarious business.
no, because saying you did it confirms the
got here.
existence of Osaibu.
Understood. I'll just tell him about the cult
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. After you speak with old tree man, Umanja Jinga takes a moment to apologize for her earlier behavior. She notes that one of their most recent visitors to the city betrayed their trust a few years back, escaping the city without being bound to secrecy. It was quite a scandal. As a result, everyone in Osaibu has become wary of new visitors. If Demiri Deji sees the heroes as friends, she notes, she does as well. So they invite you guys to stay in the city, and she already starts arranging a place for you guys to stay.
That's so
Before we-
nice of
Yeah.
you.
Before we go, who was the person?
Oh, well, we can talk about that later.
Oh, I
I'm
hate
sure.
that.
I'm sure
Hmm.
that won't come up at any point during our stay here.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So,
They're not purple, are they?
life in Osaibu. You guys, a sizable residence is secured for you in the city's Leira district in the southwest. You can live here while you stay in the city. You're free to move about the city as you see fit. But the city guards prevent you from leaving or coming close to the ominous, what they call the Nemesis Well in the center of the city. They say that there are like incomprehensible whispers emanating from the well every few weeks, and they're as mysterious as they are troubling.
That makes me want to go to the well so much.
You might get the chance. It might be one of the encounters you can do in the city.
Oh, wait, what? What does it say? Oh, no.
Kill your friends.
Rip the tag off your mattress.
Oh.
Deeply troubling.
Leave your yogurt outside all day.
Ugh.
I mean, in Winnipeg, you
Oh.
could probably do that right now.
No,
Eat
like
it?
just like out on the kitchen counter, maybe where the sun will hit it.
Yeah.
It's like sun tea.
So, you guys are free to learn as much as you like about the city, its culture, and its people. And Demiri Digi actively encourages you to get to know Osaibu. He cannot be a tour guide because he's quite
Because
slow
he's a tree.
and can't fit through certain parts of the city. He's very large. The time in the city is the opportunity to conduct more practical research, as described below.
Sure.
You guys can chronicle what you learn in the city, but are subject to requests from your friends in the city's elected body, to inspect any records that you take.
Oh.
So you guys are allowed to take notes and everything, but they are going to ask to look at them afterwards because
Yeah.
while they can, while the magic will keep you guys from talking about your experiences later on, obviously the loophole in that is it can't affect written documents. So they're just,
Yeah.
there's a review board for any academic research done in the city.
I don't think they would want to see Ophelia's notes. They're kind of a hot mess.
While this adventure assumes the lore speaker's first few months in Osaibu are relatively quiet, there will be some interesting occurrences that can happen.
I think the first thing I want to do is to step quickly outside the city and shoot a sending to Teacher Ott, just to be like, no sign of Illuminated Tree Expedition. They may be up to nefarious dealings in our absence. It may have been a ploy.
You receive a message back. Teacher Ott thinks you're probably right. He's been talking to people who were watching the tree, and he sort of managed to do some backtracking in terms of what they were observed to be doing, and they did not gather enough supplies or send out enough kind of carts or people that looked like an expedition, unless they somehow managed to magically mask the entire party leaving the city, which why would they do that? He thinks you're probably right, and it was probably just a ploy to get you out of the city quicker.
One short day in
fine.
Osiris City.
It's fine. This is great. Oh, this is everything I've ever wanted, but also I'm so angry.
Little bat screeches.
I mean, Avi,
Us,
they
Ace-
they just said that we can leave and come back. They just said that.
Can you imagine? Out of character, we just go sick, teleport right back to Nantabu.
I think that's a
and
little
pick up our
farther than the
bullshit.
teleport range.
Listen,
A
they come
1,000
into our
miles?
home. They come into our home.
Maybe.
We could at least get pretty close with a 1,000-mile radius where we've traveled
Hold on.
exactly there before.
Do I have a map of the Milwaukee Expanse? Dang it, the map's not in here. It's in my book.
Well, if only someone had easy access to a map of the Milwaukee
Wow,
Expanse.
if only
It's
somebody-
over there on my RPG
Not there.
shelf.
That's
But
why I
anyway,
have mine right beside my desk. Well, on my desk. But yeah.
you guys go to the fast travel menu, and teleport is not available currently.
Mm.
God.
Right,
The
so-
AP
You
is
know, I
re-rolling
hate
you,
that.
not me.
I
Where
hate
is-
that so much.
Okay, there's a Saibu.
You guys are too close to hostile figures. You can't teleport.
Okay, there's a Saibu.
Oh.
And then where are we based out of? We're based out of...
I do find it kind of funny that the book just has a map and like, oh yeah, Saiba's right here. This mythical lost city protected by magical secrecy. Oh, it's just on the map.
Question.
Ta-da,
What city
here
are
it
you
is.
based out of again?
Wait, does that mean all your
Non-Tambu.
adventures in this AP are happening before
Non-Tambu.
the book comes out?
It's...
You guys are the backstory for the Milwaukee Expanse source book?
We're 600 miles
Diggy,
away from
what are you doing?
Nantabu.
600 miles?
Diggy?
You could teleport back if you wanted, but you'd have to go through all those encounters again. Maybe.
No, I wouldn't. I could make that
Just
teleport
teleport.
circle right now.
Because we've been here before.
Quite honestly, I would rather us research here than go back and deal with the tree. We can burn a tree down whenever we want.
Not. I
think the
can't.
problem
I don't
is
want to
the
walk.
water.
Avi,
So it's 100 miles,
Avi.
not 1,000.
At 7th level.
Avi,
Look
if
at the
we-
height and-
Well, spell's 6.
Okay.
Kenna, you
miles
did
means
not
nothing.
even
Okay,
stunt
1,000.
her. You didn't even stunt her.
Avi,
I'm
if
gonna
we-
do it. I'm
Just-
just saying
Avi.
I could if I
Hear me-
wanted to.
Not even anything in
Hear
your
me
eyes.
out.
You just said at
Hear
7th
me
level.
out. Once we go back to Nantambu, we murder the cult. But for now, let's
That's
just hang out
not-
here and research.
Okay, but let's not
I am.
dilly-dally about
Like,
it.
listen, maybe by the time we're heading back, we'll be able to summon meteors from the sky or something. We can just rain hellfire on them.
Ikra,
You
In
guys-
the whole city?
No, just the cult.
Yeah, because
Charlotte, what were
meteors
you
are well
saying?
known for their precision.
No,
Absolutely.
I
See?
just
God
are y'all looking
understands.
around? Do you know where Charlotte is right now?
Where is Charlotte right now?
Charlotte, did you already go home?
No, she's in the bag. We have to take Charlotte out of the bag.
I've already been rolling death saving throws
That's why
for
we're
not being able to
taking-
breathe.
We gotta take them out of the bag.
We
Oh,
took
she's
her
in
out of the
that?
bag.
She was in the bag the
Quick.
whole time.
Don't worry, you guys still have like a revivify scroll from the start of your adventure you never used.
No, Charlotte's out on the streets with her
No.
eyes literally pressed against some of the building architecture.
How is this gold window transparent?
Yes, the pots, the windowsills, the windows themselves, the arches, everything is made from a crafting of gold, and Charlotte is low key nerding out. Especially, I imagine. So, like, I imagine there's some sort of like a market like place with crafts that get traded and stuff like that. So, Charlotte's already like research of a city of crafted of gold and beautiful pieces of like untold or unheard of possible magical artifacts. I'm already out. I'm on the streets. I'm wandering.
Charlotte's on the street. Here to hear, folks. Charlotte's on the streets.
One short day.
Just on the street, the hard
Everybody,
streets.
Charlotte's
lock
for
your
the
doors.
street.
One short day.
Charlotte's for the streets.
Anyway,
Someone pulls
Just
out
a
like a
lot-
gold
just a lot of,
switchblade.
like,
It came to the wrong
A lot
side
of
of town.
all three hands just clasped together, a la anime, going. Oh, but that so pretty.
Webley's like, if I had actual eyes, I might find this a little blinding.
You know what would make me feel a lot better is as much as I would love to research right now. We have a flower that we're looking for. This one. Remember this flower from Mercedes that let's just get that out of the way.
oh no, I almost forgot about it.
That's okay.
Oh,
That's okay. We did it.
oh,
Oh.
oh.
Extinct
Oh.
flower
What-oh. What-oh.
Not extinct.
only grows on your back once a year.
No?
Oh,
That's a weird assumption.
it's a giant tree man.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure you were talking to the tree man for a second.
Get him
Um,
off the Hydra's back.
It is explained to you guys that that particular flower is kind of a heritage flower. It has been carefully grown and the seeds harvested and grown again over the many years because it's a very delicate flower. Once it's harvested, it's fine. You can store it in like a jar or something. But while it's being grown, it is the worst kind of like hothouse orchid. If you don't give it exactly the conditions it likes, it just like, I guess I'll just die then. Ugh.
Ah,
You mean
the
like all my
Asterian
plants?
flower.
Much.
You mean like every single one of my plants?
And while that's not actually the big problem, because they long ago learned all the tricks and the specific things it likes to keep it alive, it was being grown in a very specific spot in the city, right next to the Nemesis well.
Oh.
So while it might still be alive there, it's exceedingly difficult to harvest them or look how they're doing, because the Nemesis well is just unpleasant to be around. A roiling bank of blue-green haze conceals now the well itself. It's just like spooky London streets from like Victorian era in one specific section of the city.
When did this start?
Let me just take a look here.
Looks for all the souls.
It's been a source of trouble since long before the city's founding, but recently it's been getting noticeably worse. They used to handle things a lot better, but something has been triggering it to kind of flare up a lot worse.
So I just want to put this out here. So you found a thing called a Nemesis well that had whispers of evil around it, and you guys thought, hey, let's build a city around this.
Hey, water is important, and
Hey, let's build. That's like
the
building a
cornerstone
city.
of life.
That's like building a city on a fault line without any earthquake protection.
As a
Looking at you,
Los
California.
Angeles, I don't know what you mean by
Looking at you,
that.
California. Ooh.
Also, maybe the city was here first and the well came later.
No, they said the well's always been a problem
since
the city
long
was
before the
founded.
city's founding. It's been a source
well.
of trouble anyway. But we
but
don't know why the people chose to build around the well. It's possible the city was built near the well, and then the city grew, and eventually they had to sort of absorb the well.
The well grew.
Yeah. Plus, there is you guys learn this later on when you go to check out the well, but there is like a structure built around the well. It's not just like a well with a bucket.
Darn it.
Oh.
Yeah. Nothing in this city is simple.
Mm,
Is
course
there
not.
anything we can help out with regarding the well or the heritage flowers?
I mean, you could, if you really need to, you're free to go check it out.
I don't mind doing that if there's like something we can do to help fix it.
Do you guys want to go check out the Nemesis well first? Before you even do any research?
Let's
Question.
research it
Let's research.
first.
Yeah,
Well, no, I
wait,
mean,
no.
there's nothing to research about the well itself. You can just talk to people, and they've pretty much told you everything there is to know about it, except if anyone wants, they seem like there's one thing they're maybe not mentioning, and it's not like they're hiding a great secret. There's just something they're not mentioning. If anyone wants to give me a diplomacy check to try and get them to convince them to talk about it.
I
Of
got it.
course. Put my best showboating
Oh,
on.
got me.
That's a 35.
I'm gonna say you guys tag team this effort, and so there used to be a lovely dome of stained glass around the well, but at the moment, and because it's been flaring up and unpleasant to be around, they haven't managed to properly fix it. Many of the glass panels are broken or missing. This is both caused by both the recent upheavals within the well and the reckless acts of the Pathfinder explorer Darren Malkarian.
For fuck's sakes.
I don't know who that guy is, but he sounds like a real jerk.
He is my Tom Bombadil.
I don't care who that guy is.
Neither do I.
Several questions.
Me and my homies all hate Tom Bombadil. Though his wife is very pretty.
He is my Tom.
Um,
Derek is my Tom
so-
Bombadil.
Darren, is that the person that Umanja was talking about?
Very possibly, yes. They don't. It seems like a bit of a sore subject. They don't want to talk about it a lot.
Pathfinder Society.
Okay. And then 2, was the stained glass magical in any sort of way?
No, it was just it was really nice, and we were very happy with it.
Regular, pretty stained glass. You guys don't imbue your stained glass with magical properties or anything like that?
I mean, not usually, no.
No. Okay. And 3, where can I find a good pastry around here?
Points across the street from your residence, and there's a lovely little golden cafe.
Oh,
In fact,
is
you
there
guys.
gold leaf on the
This-
croissant?
This.
Yes, but it's not actual gold leaf. It's something to make it look to gold leaf. Like, we got a theme going. We want to,
Yeah, no, you gotta commit to the bit.
you guys find that you wake up every morning with the smell of fresh pastries wafting through your windows.
Oh,
Igura hates it.
why? Why do you? This is delightful.
It's
This
temptation.
is a treat. It's a croissant.
It's a croissant. Do you know how many carbs are in that?
What's some
Igra, you are the only member of the party who regularly goes on workouts.
I know.
Excuse you. Dancing is a workout.
Okay, fair.
We're all enjoying ourselves, and Igor's over here like, but what about my macros?
You can swim in the well, Igura.
Oh God,
I would like to, just to see what would happen.
that will result in a non-standard game over.
Isn't that what he wants? Playing that way.
Igura just walks into the well. You know what? Fine. Goodbye,
I want it.
everyone.
You
I
can't
want the
even
achievement.
Get there. Just try
Goodbye,
to
cruel
find.
world.
You can't even find it.
Goodbye, cruel Avi Avi and Ophelia. Jumps
I've
into well.
done nothing wrong.
Excuse. Cruel
All right,
how?
what
Name one
are we
time.
doing on your first day? I suppose in
Don't be a baby.
Osaibu. Are you going to do some
Bullying
research?
Igura.
Are you going to maybe advance your academic careers and get some treasure points?
I'm gonna go straight for the well.
I do kind of want to go straight for the well,
Straight for
unless
the
there's
well.
a
I mean,
mechanical
they call it the-
reason.
No, not really. They call it the Nemesis Well. I'm like, yeah, they're going to want to go check this thing out right away.
Yeah.
Let's go see if we can get
Also-
Nemesis.
All right. I'm going to read, just make sure this. Okay, I'm just going to read this whole thing. Some of it's what you've already heard, but the Nemesis Well at Osaibu's center has been a source of trouble since long before the city's founding. A roiling bank of blue-green haze conceals a wide shaft rumored to be bottomless. The well is covered by a dome of stained glass, excuse me, but many of the glass panels are broken or missing. Evidence of both recent upheavals within the well and the reckless acts of the Pathfinder explorer, Darren Malkarian. Damari Digi spends most days and nights guarding the Nemesis well, seeking to keep its occasional nighttime whispers from disturbing the sleep of the city's populace. Yeah. If you decide to visit him or the well with your own eyes, you find the arboreal carefully, that's him, I don't know why they describe him that way, carefully working to replace a piece of glass on one of the broken panels. The work is time consuming because the fit must be exact. But as a potentially ageless ancient tree man, he is nothing but patient.
Hey, Shar, think you could help out with that?
Yeah, I could definitely help out with that.
I definitely cannot with my -1 to crafting still. But y'all.
Now, here's a question, you guys. Are you going to, when you approach the area the well is in, are you going to stop, admire the architecture of the dome, or are you going to head right in?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to admire the architecture.
Admire. We're gonna stop. We're gonna dilly dally. We're gonna look and
We're going to smell those
look
roses.
around. You know we are.
Give me a perception check, everyone.
Delightful.
Excellent.
37.
Agate got a 38.
Got a 40.
All right.
Oh my God, 34.
You see, hold on a second. I need to check something real quick.
You see LA?
You see in some pots and kind of planters around the dome a flower that seems to resemble the one you're looking for.
I don't trust it. Can I do a nature check on it?
Sure.
Um,
33?
endures. You know this
33.
one?
Something adverse has affected this flower.
Hmm.
It seems kind of like there's like shadow sort of or mist clinging to it. You
Oh,
get
God.
the impression. Well, actually, you know what? Someone else can give me an Arcana check now.
So I
That's
point
a
out that-
42.
Yes, okay.
You
Yeah,
bet
I
a
point-
42.
So basically, I point out to Avi, I go, that particular flower has qualities to it that are not normal by the knowledge that I have on it already.
It's
Something
mist
weird.
cursed.
And Avi
Yes.
says, that's a mist curse. I've read about these.
You do get the impression that the only reason the flower is like this and probably not usable for any intended purpose is that it has been sitting here stewing in this mist for too long.
Oh,
Oh,
wait,
God,
if we
not a
need to-
stew.
If we need to deal with this mist, who has the moonlight lantern?
It's all stew connected.
Why is it always a stew?
Stew connected.
Good soup. I don't know if the moonlight lantern would be helpful here, but it's worth a try.
It probably won't.
Where?
You pull out
I
the moonlight
mean-
lantern. It doesn't seem to penetrate the mist.
No.
I would say what we
Wait,
might
what
be
about the
looking
daylight?
at is the source of whatever this mist comes from will probably need to be destroyed.
Just because you rolled a 33 in your nature, you also conclude that if you could successfully transplant one of these flowers and keep it alive long enough outside the influence of the mist, it might recover enough that it could be harvested properly.
Endures? Do you think you can maybe
Oh, I
transplant
suppose
that
so.
friend?
He is going to attempt a nature check to safely transplant the flower.
Nice.
Okay, 40. Yeah.
Beautiful.
In
Yeah.
Durson Darkness, he's going to be working at this very carefully because he talks to the big tree man about the particular proclivities of this particular flower, and he's going to be working at this for a little bit. So if you guys want to walk inside and check out the well, he'll still be working.
Do.
Endures
Maybe we
your-
can take care of this Nemesis well business for you guys as like a token of appreciation for your hospitality.
You guys are going to go inside and check out the well?
As everyone else is heading in, I'm just going to look at Endures and be like, your end of term review depends on this. Do your best, and then walk
If a
in.
mushroom could sweat.
Where did you send it?
Why are
What
you
are they-
bullying this poor NPC?
Listen, because we bully
What do you
him.
gain
so he
out of
needs,
it?
He needs something to bully.
He needs to take it out on Endures in Darkness? Man, that's dark.
I mean, considering the power dynamic, it's especially
Yeah.
not good.
But then he tells.
Yeah.
But then he says that I'm the one that abuses the power dynamic between me and my students.
I agree.
All right.
I can
When you
do
guys
no right,
enter
only
into the
wrong.
dome-
I understand.
Congratulations. Now it's stuck under there. What are you gonna do?
Just jealous.
When you enter into the dome area to see the well, the gold cobbled streets around the Nemesis well shudder and blue light spills up between the cracks. Everyone who can see must attempt a DC will save, or a DC 32 will save.
Is that
Uh-oh.
because this is a
Uh-oh.
visual effect?
Yes.
Hero pointing it.
Counter performance.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh,
Be-
God.
I'm gonna
Beautiful.
counter performance that for a performance check.
All right, hold on. Everyone I'm going to go around the thing, and I need you, all the things have been rolling here. I need you to give me your final results. We're going to start with Igora.
I have to wait for. Are you going to hero point that performance check, Zoe?
Fucking guess so. Oh my gosh, is it gonna click?
maybe.
It might
You want
be
me
a
to do it?
situation
I
roll-
clicked it.
It might just be roll 20 being awful.
Okay, that's
There we
a
go.
32 for you.
That's a 35.
35. Math is hard, and then I got a
35.
37.
All right, so
So
Igora.
Igora got a 35.
All right, that's
Brahma
success.
Got a 41
That's a
on a natural 20.
oh, a nat 20. Okay, that is a critical success then.
I also got a critical success.
Oh, do I re-roll after Ophelia's?
No, you
Counter
use her
performance?
performance check as the number.
Oh, okay. I will do that then.
Think it's
Wait, what? What's happening?
Yeah, you use the higher of the two results.
you and allies in the area. What is it for one person, or can it be
You
for
and
multiple
allies in your area
allies?
can use the better result between your performance check and the saving throw.
So then you can also use that 35?
Yes.
use that 35.
Great.
So anyone who
You
uses the
should
35
use-
gets a success. So no one fails, no one critically fails. So for a success, you receive a vague premonition of doom and are frightened one on a success.
Oh, yikes.
So a critical failure would have killed someone, is what I'm.
No, but you would have been frightened one for a month.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
I got a 40.
Oh, no, pardon me. Pardon me. A critical failure is a -1 circumstance penalty to diplomacy checks for a month, as well as your next check to perform practical research is -1 for a month.
So they really said, don't come
Oh, no,
here
wait.
first.
That's
don't do
that's
it.
just the failure. The critical failure is all of that once you
Hannah.
leave Osaibu for a month.
Oh God.
This well is bad news.
They said, don't come here first. And we said, we want to go there
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, we're fine.
You guys probably just like back up out of there. And Damari Digi explains the Nemesis Wells' magical eruptions have become more frequent, although this is the first time one has occurred during the day in a long, long time. They normally occur at night and inflict nightmares on any nearby citizens. He believes this unusual eruption means some kind of danger threatens Osaibu, but he must engage in meditation to learn more. So yeah, it's hard to tell, on a giant tree man with his wooden face, but he does look worried, or at least concerned.
Wait, Avi, do you think
Yeah.
you would be able to do some sort of runic witch mojo with him? and his meditation.
Oh, that could be interesting. Normally I do this with Endures in Darkness, but I could contact my patron, although that might violate the terms of the secrecy agreement. Granted, my patron is basically
all knowing.
It has access to any knowledge that I do, but
Hopefully, you're not saying this out loud.
I kind of am. But I look up at Big Tree Man and I say,
He's very carefully trying to get a pane of glass into a thing. So,
if you wanted, we could ask my patron about this, see if they have any wisdom to share about the Nemesis well. They may not.
any help you give to the city's troubles would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah. I could try that. What's just stopping us from jumping on and down there?
Desire not to die?
Yeah.
You've not met me.
Yeah, we don't really have that.
He pulls out a
I
leaf
do.
with a therapist's number on it for you, Igra.
Oh, Eager, I am begging you.
Just eats a yummy leaf.
No.
That's actually
What?
how you book an appointment.
Spits it out.
It's a magically binding contract once you eat the leaf.
The first
He
step.
grows a new Carl. Doesn't do therapy.
so when is Igra's new appointment, Matthew? You've said
mean-
it, it's canon.
It's not.
Like a week
Yeah.
today.
Ugh.
A week?
It would usually be earlier, but because of the well, a lot of people are needing to talk to someone.
Oh, I bet.
All right, but in all seriousness, now, is there a way that we can deal with this well, as we know, or did we just kind of get judged out by there and bad times and left?
Matthew, I have a question. Sorry to.
Well, hold on. I'm going to ask,
That's fine.
answer Will's question first. No, there's nothing you can do about the well currently.
Cool.
The well, this is literally just
Ooh.
here's a thing that's known lore, part of the city. You can check it out.
Boo, hiss, boo. Go here for a debuff.
This is
only.
non-interactable.
What was the doom premonition that we saw, if you don't mind my asking? Was it different for each of us?
Tombu in flames.
No, it you get the vaguest sense of weight and heat bearing down on you.
Ooh. Hate it. Interesting.
But it was because you guys have actually rolled pretty well. It was only kind of a brief, a flicker of a memory of a forgotten bad dream, and then it was gone. Not literally, but that was what the sensation was like. Like, oh, I remembered something I dreamed the other night, and I did not like it.
Interesting. All right. Well, I guess if there's nothing to be done about it, we can research.
All right. Now, does everyone remember what the skills associated with their track at the school are?
Yes.
Because choose either your primary or secondary
Buddy.
branch and attempt a skill check against a standard DC of the branch's level.
I don't
Matt,
remember.
What's
Yes?
the level 7 DC?
You know what? Give me a quick second. I'm going to grab my book.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Well, Matt's grabbing
Also-
their book. Tonight's show is brought to you by me. Thank you all so much for coming down tonight. We got a lot of crazy stuff happening on the channel. Wednesday Christmas special. Come and watch
It's been a while since I've been able to pull out the old flat books.
Aw.
Kindled Magic. Those were the days.
Oh,
all the
Over 100 episodes ago.
damn. Also, Sarah, you picked a major and minor, essentially, yes?
Matthew, we have a problem.
That's okay. We can figure something out. We may have to do some catching up
Well, why
off
don't we
stream.
just have Sarah set? Why don't we just set Sarah to what we're at right now and then go from there?
All right.
Yeah, as soon
Sarah
as
still
you
needs
said
to.
school
pick-
track, my brain just went, hmm.
I mean, it's okay. I failed like every single opportunity we had to level up in mine, so
Yeah, I mean, I'm at level 7 on both of mine right now, so we have like 7 levels that we can do.
Well, the main thing that's coming off of it is that I gotta consider, Matt, we should probably have a consideration of where Charlotte was before Charlotte went into stasis. Because
We can discuss that. Though I am personally I would start with the assumption that actually by the time you went into that stasis bubble, you were the level these guys were.
probably.
So you actually got a bit of a leg up on them, though they've caught up in your frozen absence.
Well, technically
I'm just
speaking,
checking.
Charlotte has several legs up on us.
Yes.
I think
That
Sarah
is
still needs
true.
to pick out a
Legs.
branch, a major branch and a minor branch.
Yes,
May
we'll
not
have
have
to
been
figure
given.
that out.
We'll have to pick
Yeah,
your major.
we'll consider it, I think.
Give me a sec. I'll see if I can find them and I'll send you a list.
Matt,
Yes.
no, I'll do it another day. If we're gonna start research for this first day, that's okay. I'll do it another day. Maybe the next day. Like, quote unquote, in game tomorrow.
Just checking. So, choose either your primary or secondary branch and attempt a skill check with one of the branch's associated skills against the standard DC of the branch's level. Which, considering you guys have advanced your levels beyond your,
Branch.
I think I'm going to go to the difficulty by level.
Well, it'd be by the branch level, right?
Yes, but remember the branch level doesn't level up with you,
Yeah.
and you
so-
guys haven't done research in a while. So.
I know. Right now, mine's at level 7.
So that would be 23.
Okay, I can't. I physically cannot fail them with assurance.
That's why assurance can be good. Removes the chance for a critical failure. So we're actually, So, this, I should mention this, committing to practical research in Osaibu, the research, this one roll, essentially accounts for a month's worth of research time.
Mm,
we play around with such big numbers.
Yes. And I should also point out, you don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
This is, you guys are in a cool, amazing, mythical city. It even says, like, when you arrive, in terms of, like, how much, like, XP people would get. Let me read this here. Locating the Golden City is an astounding feat that few have accomplished. So, this is something worth to be exciting about, and there's so much to learn here. So,
Yeah.
really spending a month, and also, this is kind of what you were sent here for, not just like, oh, we found the city. Let's go home.
Yeah.
You're not planting a flag like some sort of colonizer.
It's I think for obvious just like the horrible dichotomy of this is the most amazing thing I have ever accomplished. Oh God, what's happening while we're here?
You know, Avi, you always seem to find a way to be disappointed when really cool things happen to you.
I'm not disappointed. I'm very, very, very excited, but also very, very, very scared.
Yeah.
It's a lot of both.
Everything will be
Neither is
fine.
disappointment.
I like to feel that you guys are having this
Um,
discussion as you're being given a tour of the Golden Foundry, where they literally like forge gold with
Is
with
visibly drooling.
they've got like elemental sorcerers who like literally shape molten gold in midair and like metal bend them into like molds.
Charlotte, if you'd like, Sarah, I'm going to, and also just for our viewers' sake, because I think it's been a very long time since we've talked about this. I'm going to talk about the different schools in the Magambia.
If you want to, Will, I can do that if you
Hold
want.
on, I'm
Ignore
sorry.
me.
I'm sorry. I just want to show a very rare sight. Look,
Hi, Diggy.
I said Diggy. And you lost my.
I have the
there you
blurbs
go.
up on my screen because I brought up the chart for these.
If you just want to do the quick blurbs.
Yeah. We got several schools here at the Magambia. Each of us is part of 2 of them. There is the Cascade Bearers, Esteem Imagination. From the dreams of the most visionary magical theorists to the innovations of creative problem solvers of all stripes. The Emerald Boughs emphasize camaraderie, their sense of community and connection to fellow Magambians. They also interact with those outside the Magambia and spread the Academy's message. The Rain Scribes value adaptability in thoughts and deeds, as well as willingness to admit errors and learn from past mistakes. And the Tempest Sun Mages inspire valor. Go Sun Bros! Not only physical courage to stand up for friends and the school, but to also intellectual courage to consider opposing viewpoints and widen one understanding. Rather than staying entrenched in one single paragram, Igoro only does half of this school's teachings. Uzunjadi, understand the knowledge. That knowledge lives in stories passed down through the generations and also is earned every day through personal experience. So those are sort of the five houses, if you will.
I will not. They are branches.
Yeah. The 5 branches off the Magambian tree.
All right, so starting with our research. Avi,
Yeah.
what is your major and minor?
My major is Cascade Bearer and my minor is Emerald Bough, which I think is surprising. I think most people would consider her a Rain Scribe, but she's really more about sharing information than she is about like recording it. And finding interesting problems, solutions is a big thing for her.
So, Cascade Bearers is Arcana, Occultism, and Religion, and the Emerald Boughs is Deception, Diplomacy, and Society. For this
And
month,
that's why I have 8 levels Cascade Bearer and 1 in Emerald Bough.
all right. And as we determined, because you guys have fallen a little bit behind on your personal studies as you became lore speakers and became more concerned with, a job, you guys are only currently at level 7 for your branch level.
Well, I was at level 7. I think everyone was
5.
I have 8 levels in one and 1 level in another because I don't think I've actually failed one of these yet, knock on wood.
I was at 7 and 7 in each because I've gotten critical successes on stuff. And I kind of spread between
So I
the two.
was putting them somewhere.
We'll assume that you're of the level of everyone else.
Great.
It's a generous assumption because Zoe has been rolling horrifically on the
Like every time I failed.
But we're going to start. All right, so McKenna,
Yeah.
choose your skill and make your roll and tell me what current branch level you are at, and I will tell you the DC.
I am Cascade Bearer level 8. I think I might just go all in on Cascade Bearer.
All right, so that is going to be a DC of 24.
Sick. That's
That is a critical success. You uncover several significant revelations about Usaibu. Increase the branch level of your branch you chose by 1. That will bring you to a skill feat expert at level 9, I guess.
Is there a critical
At 9th
success
level, you gain
bonus?
additional skill feat that requires the expert or trained rank in one of the branch's associated skills. So, find one of
Arcana Occultism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
make a note of that. Leave a blank skill feat that you can maybe look into and fill out later. We're going to go to Igara.
What's the DC for level 7, Matt?
The DC for level 7 is only 23. One less.
Dang, I can't auto-critically succeed. Then in that
Maybe
case,
next month.
We will...
Actually,
No, because it's
less likely
harder.
next month.
Yeah. In that case, then I'm going to focus on Tempest Sun, and I'm going to roll my intimidation for it. As Igora
Nice.
spends time
Critical success.
with the Golden Guard, training in the ways of combat.
Same thing. You uncover several significant versions of the branch level by 1. Also, I should note for the critical successes, you can also slip in additional information the city's leaders didn't catch into your notes, increasing this branch level by an additional 1.
Oh, so we get 2 then. So I
Doing
guess-
so might lead outsiders, even well-intentioned ones, to a Saibu, unless you succeed at a secret DC 35 deception check to obscure this information on your own. Regardless of your secret check result, you won't know whether you've brought danger to the city. You also gain 2 treasure points.
I'll take my 2 levels and 2 treasure points. Thank you.
All
Yeah,
right.
I
Do you
will
want
as
to roll your
well.
deception?
It's a secret check, so you would technically roll it for me. So you would go to, I mean, I'll be able to see it, but I have it set to GM. So stream will be able to see it. And deception. There you go, Matt.
Okay.
Just realized I was making all of my rolls under the frightened condition.
Ooh, I get the
Oh,
tough.
babe.
Well, good thing you've discovered that you're now before you roll, because you're going to be rolling next.
I get the
Great.
toughness feat, and
That's so
performance goes up to
cool.
master for free.
Let me see. Wait, why is this not going away?
What goes up to master for you, Will?
Performance goes up to master for me.
Right. I'm going to take a look at your sheet.
Oh wait, it's skill feat extra. Not yet.
Yeah.
It's the next level that goes up to
You're
master.
no longer frightened, so
Why does it say temp -1 on everything?
Because you're frightened.
nope,
I'm
not
not
anymore.
frightened.
Yeah, there's a temp -1 on everything, but the frightened condition is not there. You know what?
Oh.
I'm going to turn it on.
Turn it off and on again.
Yep.
It gave me
It's still -1 everywhere. That's weird.
I'll go take a look at it. Give me a second.
It wasn't
Well,
me.
we'll
I
just
didn't
add
do it.
one to whatever
Yeah.
she rolls.
I did not do it.
All right. So, what are your branches, Ophelia?
Uzumjati and Emerald Bows.
All right. So, Emerald Bows again is Deception, Diplomacy, Society, and Uzumjati is Crafting and Lore. And we're just going to assume that you were also level 7 in this. Someone was giving you private tutoring along the way.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
feel free to roll, and if Will can't fix that -1, we'll just automatically add +1.
Great. Okay. I'm gonna go towards Emerald Bows. So I'm gonna
Okay.
use my diplomacy roll. Oh.
Oh,
my
it's
cool.
a.
It's a what?
Hold on.
It's a what? That's a 33.
It's on
30.
your armor for some reason.
I think it's like across the board. It was in all the skills too.
Yeah.
32 will be a success, but not a critical success. You were off by 1.
It's a 33.
Well, actually, the roll doesn't have any minuses in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even though it says it on my sheet? That's so
I'm looking at the
weird.
breakdown of the rolls, and it's just 7 plus
Yeah.
25.
Now keep in mind it is the minus is built into the
Oh,
modifier.
okay. So it is a
Yeah.
33 then. So that will be actually a critical success then. You also potentially gain the 2 levels, bringing you up to 9.
Not to touch up anything while you're doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
And you also gain 2 treasure points. So you guys now have 6 treasure points collectively. And Sarah,
Hmm.
do you want to just figure out what your branches are going to be later? Because I don't want to force you into making a decision right now that you haven't had time to consider.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So we will
Um,
retroactively do some rolls for you later once you have had a chance to actually sit and study the potential branches.
Can I?
Yep.
Can I do something outside of a research?
Sure. What do you have in mind?
I want to go back and help him finish the stained glass.
You
Put
want
it
to do a
back together
crafting
again.
check?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like the next day after the well incident, Charlotte wanders back over, and obviously he's slow, so he's still doing that. So I think Charlotte kind of wants to help put it back together again. So the 44.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
you-
Charlotte
you-
will just go. Can I help?
I mean, I would appreciate that. It's very kind of you, visitor from afar. And using your skill and your natural Anadi ability to like scuttle up on the sides of buildings, yeah, you guys make quite the team.
Hmm.
Endures in Darkness
feel like
has
Charlotte
cool things
also
of water
probably-
for you at the base.
Yeah. I feel like Charlotte also probably has some sort of weird, like, fantasy super glue to glue the pieces back in so that they hold firmer.
Well, I'm sure he has supplies as well. Just the extra hands and the skill in the hands is appreciated.
Oh,
I
yes.
think I fixed it,
All of it.
Ophelia.
Thank you, Will. Now, during the course of this month, as you guys go about your research, you learn things about the city, you perhaps secretly betray their trust by trying to hide extra information in your documents by being greedy and wanting those extra treasure points and skill points, academic stuff.
Oh, are the extra treasure points only if you try to hide
No, the extra
things?
treasure points is this is gifts they are giving you.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, the extra
was like-
skill point is if you choose to hide stuff.
Oh, I thought the extra skill point was for critting.
Well, no, you get the opportunity if you crit.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you don't get
With
the
the
skill
success,
increase.
it says you expand knowledge of Osaibu in a way that doesn't endanger its residents. Increase the branch level of the branch you chose by 1. You also gain 1 treasure point. If you critically succeed, you get 2 treasure points, 1 skill point, and the potential to do a second one if you are willing to skirt the line of maybe violating the secrecy.
Okay.
Which you think that we would just, yeah.
I'm not going to be doing that, but
So, during the course of this month, you guys are going to and from your residence, getting comfortable with the city, its residents, making some friends, making some acquaintances, getting to know, the people who brings you your bagels in the morning. About 20 days into your first month, you are enjoying a nice, comfortable sleep, dreamless. Avi, you wake up, and before you're even like fully conscious of what's like happening, you notice something's a little off because you feel like, is there like a light source in the room or something? And you turn your head, like you were kind of lying on your side or something. You turn your head, and floating in the air above your bed, semi-transparent, flickering like made of ghostly fire almost, is a severed head wearing a silly hat.
Do so.
Avi, from her sleep perch above the bed, where she hangs
right.
upside down, looks down at this thing and goes, "Hello?"
This is a head you recognize.
I can only assume this is Mercedes.
Yes, hello, welcome. Welcome back to the world of the waking, or perhaps you're still dreaming. Who's to say? But the solstice is here. Shakes the head a little bit in midair, despite the fact they don't have shoulders or anything. And the hat flaps around. It's like a little Santa hat.
What a silly and fun hat. How are we having this conversation?
Perhaps it's a dream. Perhaps you're being cursed. Perhaps this is the last burst of my consciousness escaping my head. Perhaps I'm the true bit of Mercedes that's left. Perhaps I'm the thing that drove her to madness. We may never know.
Fascinating.
But I'm here on this solstice to do something both wonderful and terrible. I'm here to give you a choice. For every one of you, my dear friends and loyal customers, I will answer any one question you have. Well, we can't read that.
What does that say?
Screams in Igara. Get a Sharpie, Will. So basically, as my little Christmas gift to all my players, and as a thank you for staying with us, I'm going to give you guys the horrible opportunity to try and decide on one question that I, the DM, will answer.
I'm assuming this is for the whole party.
Oh my god.
No, each of you get one question.
Oh, you just get
Each
one
get a question.
Oh,
Screams and Igra.
oh shit.
Is that Egra's question? He just
No,
screams.
I just have a sign.
It's a
that I
weird
have
question,
ready.
Igra. She screams back, that's the answer.
And it doesn't have to be about Mercedes or anything like that. It's just one question to me, Matt, the DM, as a Christmas gift to all of you.
Like now?
Right now. This is the horrible thing.
Like-
You now have to decide on a question. This is a limited time opportunity.
oh
You have
God.
23 minutes left to ask
Limited
this
time
question.
magic.
Head dances joyfully in the air.
If we ask you, do you have to say it out loud?
Don't ask.
No.
Don't ask.
Thank you. Of course I'm gonna ask. I'm being kosher.
Well, that might have been your question.
No, it's kosher.
That actually would have been a funny thing to do. Like, just one question, right? Yes. It's the D&D movie.
It's the, yeah, I was about to say, wait.
Only answer when I
Question,
ask
right?
you, okay? Why did you
Okay.
say okay at the end of that? I did.
Why did you say okay?
So,
It's so good. Oh, I
who
need
would
to
like
think.
to
Ooh.
go first?
No one wants to go first.
Is there a
Oh my
way?
god, this is so
Oh,
strong.
oh, oh.
I got it.
Igra has a question.
Is there
The
a
head-
way? Is there a
Whoops.
way to resolve the current issues with Kiara in a way that will not make Avi sad?
Yes.
Vague.
There you go.
You must be specific if you want specific answers.
I
Beat.
got my answer.
Specific. Beat. Specific.
I mean- Yes, like, yeah. She could join the cult and be happy for the rest of her life.
Hmm.
And this is why I don't like you. And you go about their day.
I'm answering your questions.
And I look forward to punting your frozen ass head before we put it back together.
I may not be real. You could all be dreaming. It's a solstice
Damn.
miracle.
One hell of a nightmare.
Oh no.
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh.
I'm
Thanks.
sorry. Something about that
Oh.
just tickled me. Just Mercedes disembodied.
Like Calcifer and the Great.
She has a long tongue.
Oh, I love that scene. He goes,
Why?
Like,
Oh,
why?
shoot.
But also perfect.
Oh shoot. I know what I want to ask, but how I want to ask it.
You want to whisper it in the head's ear?
Well, that would kind of kill it for chat. I mean, we can all.
Dear.
We could all just pretend not to know the answer.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta think. I'm looking. Don't do not me
All
next. Not me next.
Sarah and or McKenna.
I'm also trying to think of a way to phrase this.
Mhm.
It is important to phrase it a certain way.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
The last time that we had the fox and we were asking it questions was kind of a disaster.
And then Igra lost how much gold?
150.
Yeah, we paid him back,
150.
but he's still salty about it.
I mean, gold's worth a lot in this world.
Salty boy.
Do you know how many of our problems would just be solved if Igora could kill the people that were causing them?
Fun fact: the weapon that causes more damage in Baldur's Gate based on the amount of money the character is holding, they have nerfed that
Yeah.
because people were reverse pickpocketing thousands of golds into bosses and then
Yeah,
one-shotting
they
them.
were.
Mhm.
Come on, that's so
Clever.
funny though.
Fun.
I mean, that is a
Detective.
very RPG solution to that.
Fun
It
detective.
honestly is.
Must
genius.
snuff out fun. That's like WoW dev logic.
I mean, here's the thing. I feel the existence that ever was possible is the funnest part. Everyone doing it makes it less fun. It's fun by its uniqueness and quirkiness. If it just
Yeah.
becomes the standard solution, it's boring.
Yeah.
I'm going
Hi.
to phone my friends and brainstorm this a little bit because we did not say
Live
that
on
that was
stream?
illegal.
Okay.
Live
do you-
on stream. I'm tempted to just ask, how do I help Kiara? Because that is open-ended, but also open-ended in a way that might be helpful in reasons that I don't have. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I will give you this freebie though. Keep in mind, if you don't say how, if you're unspecific about how I can help Kiara, they might give you a simple thing like, "Oh, just give up."
Yeah.
Then she'd get everything she wants.
I mean, you could say like, what is
That's the last thing I'm going to help you with.
step to help Kiara?
Well, because there's a matter of like, I'm specifically trying to help Kiara, not the whatever it is that she is now, the friend
Right.
that I had.
Right. So you could get an answer that's harmful to
That's
her
true.
specifically.
All right, I'll give you one more thing. Also, you do recall
Juicy,
it's
juicy.
been a while, and I'll just remind you of this. When you were talking with the fox, you became aware of certain complications about identity with Kiara.
Right.
Whether or not that's like her current name, if that was ever her name, if that is who she is now. So the phrasing of that may also be important.
Maybe if I specify my friend,
Hmm.
the part of her that is my friend that I know is still in there somewhere. How do I help that
write out a long ass
person?
sentence is your question.
I mean,
Have you met me?
You be covering all your bases.
I am
Great.
reminded of an episode of The X-Files where Mulder almost went crazy trying to craft the perfect wish for, a jerk-ass genie.
Right.
What are you mulling over?
Do you need a little bit more time?
I can use a little bit more time. What are you
Okay,
mulling
great.
over?
Well, isn't this a wonderful gift I've given you?
I am
This is great.
obsessed with you.
You've given us emotional damage as a gift.
This is everything I could have ever asked for. A Christmas miracle. I adore you.
Who?
I mean, Teddy looks like they're having a good time.
All right. I got my question. Will
Take
you
your time.
message me the answer?
I can if you would prefer that.
Who
This
is
is your
the
question.
third? Who is the third?
All right, very carefully. You.
Dun 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 dun
Be fun.
dun dun dun.
Hey, chat. Just wanna reach out and tell you that, man, I got nothing.
You don't want to know anything?
You don't want to learn about your 3 goddesses?
I mean, in general, I suppose I do, but
All right.
I rather learn that in an organic game-like function. So I guess my question would be very meta towards Matt, the DM, as opposed to Mercedes answering.
Bet.
You heard
Sorry,
it here
Thank you.
first.
I was concentrating on the wording for the answer there. What was your question, Sarah?
We
Didn't
were
ask.
just talking.
Oh,
Or chatting about how I don't particularly dislike the idea of getting the answers, but also I'd rather keep it where I learn things in an organic sort of function. However, I do have one question through the Mercedes head towards Matt, the GM.
That is how this pipeline works.
Is
Oh.
there any point to me pursuing the three mystery gods?
Can you be more specific about what you mean by point?
Well,
Are you talking about, is there going to be a cool mechanical payoff? Like, will I get a cool ability or a upgraded Pito? Or do you mean like story-wise?
story-wise, I think there's a lot of. So let me give a bit more of a brief explanation, and I apologize. I got hit with a huge amount of energy deficiency
That's okay.
for a variety of reasons. So I'm a little off right now, but I would say that if I'm trying to chase a story dynamic that doesn't benefit the game, I'd rather just let it drop. I'm okay with like them adding in the Mercedes and helping with the Kiara and doing the main book story stuff, but in terms of like personal character story wise, if it's not anything that needs to happen, I'd rather not pursue it.
I will clarify one further point. When you say needs, do you mean it potentially connects to the grander story, or if there's something for you to experience that could be interesting?
I have a little bit of both.
I will say this particular flower, I suppose, will bloom and grow with as much water and care and love as you are willing to impart on it. If you seem like this is something you want to pursue, I will give you the tools to build something extraordinary with it. Whether or not that connects to anything else that's happening, or whether this will just be a personal journey of exploration and innovation, be completely up to you and how much energy you want to invest in it. This will be a series of yes ands.
And it's a rather
So to speak.
interesting plot point, so to be honest with you.
It may result, if depending on your choices, depending on your successes and how much you want to pursue it, you might become a academically inclined, possibly not even that religious avatar of these goddesses, or a, chosen or something.
Bookworm.
Who knows what the future may hold if that's what you want? There could be a legendary poison out there that, as a final trial, you have to craft or something.
Something to chew on. Think
Well,
about it.
maybe not with the poison part, but don't chew on that.
Well, yeah, don't chew the poison. Very bad for you.
I hope that was a satisfactory answer.
It was. It helped clear things.
And so we
So
turn.
it leaves me. Okay. I am going to ask about Kiara, and I want to specify that this is the Kiara I was friends with, the one who made a deal with you to get this soul separating knife, the one who built a whole world in a painting in an attempt to theoretically get away from this being. That Kiara. How do I help her?
To help your friend Kiara, will be to follow her on her journey, see what she has seen, confront what she has endured, and convince her there is another way. That you don't have to control everything to be safe.
That is good wisdom. That is good wisdom. Okay, but now I have actionable plans. I can follow her footsteps, see where she's been.
Thank you.
It's
I
also
appreciate
potentially
this.
what I was saying is more literal than you think.
Hmm.
I was thinking about it pretty literally, where I was gonna follow like where she went after she left Megami and sort of follow those footsteps.
I should also say, don't be in a hurry.
I'm not.
Opportunities will present themselves. Rushing into things before the stars are in the proper places may spoil your chances before they are ready.
I
That
can
was a
be
little freebie.
patient.
Wink.
That was
Pops.
a freebie. Thank you.
He explodes into.
Oh wait, I have one more question. Oh,
oh.
well.
Did you have an eyeball
Oh,
floats
I
over to
did.
you?
Are you into Charlotte? It disappears.
This interview is over. No more questions.
Is it possible for an eyeball to blush?
Morse code. Wait, no, it has no eyelids.
Sorry, I had two things I was debating
I
between,
love
but
how-
I thought I
until
would
you
go to
looked
the
up.
one that was immediately helpful to our situation rather than the one that would be immediately helpful to only Charlotte.
The eye veins get more red, a little bit more red.
Hello, Titty.
And that I think is a good place to stop for the week. We are going to dive into some more research next time, and there may also be some panic in the streets of a non-life-threatening variety that you guys will have to deal with in fun, skill-checky ways.
Panic in the streets of a what was it? Non-deadly variety?
Yes,
Like-
they're
That's
just going to
new.
be like, oh, a random encounter in the streets. Time to skill check this.
All right,
Huh,
but
that's
my
rare.
friends, thank you all
That's
so
fun.
much for coming to tonight's episode of The Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv/tabletop rules. Join us on Wednesday for our holiday special of Wild Ambition, the poster which you can see in the Discord. But for those of you who can't see it right now, Matt, what is the name of the special? Because I don't even want to
I
try to
believe
pronounce
it is Maury Ferris.
that. There we go. And we're going to have fun. What NPC will I play? Even I don't know yet. Join us and find out. Bye-bye.
Have a good night, everyone.